a hard knee.
This card went out to your largest international audience ever, and you've been slowly breaking down barriers and selling this sport by selling it as an athletic competition contested by true sportsmen. Given that, do you have any concerns about what Dan did and said, and about what Brock did and said after the fight?
About what Dan said?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, Dan, I talked to Dan after the fight, and what did Dan say?
He said I gave him another one to shut him up.
Yeah.
Right, the one that when Bisping was down out cold.
He said, yeah, he said he was joking. He said he was joking. You know, I didn't think it was funny either, but he was joking. You know, Dan Henderson's a good guy. These guys are all good guys. Brock's a good guy too. And you know, I think you guys have all asked me, you know, Brock, what's up with Brock? Brock's a grouch. He's a very grouchy guy, especially the week of the fight. It's a fact. And
I'm not right now. I'm happy.
But he's a good guy, and he loves Bud Light.
I'm even going to give you some horses. Clydesdale.
In a lot of fights in the UFC, after people have been talking trash back and forth after the fight, they sort of, make up and, hug each other. Obviously, you didn't feel that way about Frank Mir. Is there something distinctive about Mir that made you act the way you did after the fight, or is it just sort of your philosophy in general towards fighters who talk trash?
Well, first and foremost, I want to apologize. I acted very unprofessionally after the fight, and I'll leave it at that. I'm a sore loser, okay, and I don't like to get beat. I believe that Frank and I, his first bout, I gave that fight to him, and so there was a lot of emotion in this fight for me. I love this company. I want to be a fighter. I wanted to be a fighter since I was a little kid, okay? You guys want to get to know me a little bit right now. I've been a fighter my whole life. Wrestling was my way out. I wasn't the smartest kid on the block. I didn't like school. I liked to get in one-on-one with my opponent, and that's where I handled my business. I went in the entertainment business for a while, and I guess there's a little bit of still that. You guys ask me all the time, is there anything that I could drag over from WWE? And I guess you've seen a little bit tonight. I apologize to Bud Light. I'm not biased. I drink any beer. Tonight I'm drinking Bud Light all night. All right? So, no, man, I was so jacked up. I'm used to selling pay-per-view tickets, okay? I come from a business that is purely entertainment, and the guy that, my coach and the guy that, he's the best in the business but now I'm just trying to do my job. And Dana came back and, we had a, whip the dog session, and I screwed up and I apologize. But I have nothing against Frank. No, like I said, the only thing that I had against Frank was that he beat me. All right, we both talked a lot of crap, and in the end, I was just amped up.
It seems like you spoke to both Dan and Brock afterwards about some of the things that happened after the fights ended. Where's the line for you? I mean, understanding that it's a very emotional sport, and guys aren't always going to love each other. They don't love each other in any other sport either all the time.
Right.
Where's that line for you that's okay versus not okay?
Well, the line is, listen, I know all these guys, and I know who these guys are. Even Brock, as brash and as, over the top as he is, he's a good guy. And if he wasn't, I'd tell you here right to your faces that he isn't a good guy. But he is. And, and so is he most of the time. And, sportsmanship. It's about conducting yourself as professionals and showing some sportsmanship, because, I know he's not that kind of guy, and there was a lot of emotion in that fight between the crowd and him. These guys have been competing with each other for 6 weeks in the house. They don't like each other, and, I asked him about it, and he said to me, I was joking. I went in, I hit him again to make sure, I went after him, the ref stopped me. That's what he told me after the fight.
A lot of mistakes done after that fight. Overall, I call it tremendous. I felt that those, some of it would be, they would Frank, it would be sponsor bashing, it would be in reference to the white thing. Was there anything, when you heard that stuff, was there anything that you felt, I mean, what positive could possibly come out of that?
I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. And, you know, I don't think in the history of the UFC we've ever had somebody do anything like that, you know? So, I don't know, I went back and talked to him.
Does it matter even more, is it more prevalent because it was on this particular night?
I mean, if there were two people watching tonight's show, that would bum me out. You know, it's not who we are. To be honest with you, it's not who he is.
Why do you say that's not who he is?
It's not who he is. About this guy, I've spent time with this guy. You know, you hang out with these people personally, and you get to know somebody. He gets in there, the adrenaline starts kicking, you know, and the mouth starts moving, but the brain isn't sending shit to the mouth. I don't know where it's coming from. You know, it's what's happening up there. And I can tell you, that's not who he is. If he was a dick, I would tell you right now, this guy is uncontrollable. He's an idiot, and he says, you know, I don't know what to do with this guy. It's not the case with him at all. He's not. He's a smart guy. You know, he gets it, but, you know, I believe that what he said tonight, he's been in the WWE for so long. You know, he thinks he has to jump in there and be the heel and do whatever. And the sponsorship thing was the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay? The guy made a lot of money tonight. What's Budweiser going to give him $20,000 or something? I mean, come on. So it's all crazy. It's craziness. I was blown away by it. And you know, I've walked into locker rooms and had a lot of talks. Never had a talk like that one. So it's not who he is. Period. It's not. If it was, I'd tell you. You know, I'd tell you. If that's who he was. I'd say, this guy's a psycho and I don't know what I'm going to do. You know? But he's not. So we'll see what happens.